Okay, so today I am talking about orchestrating multiple intelligences, and that's what the article is about. Um, and my name, Amy Andrus. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about the different intelligences that there are. First is linguistic intelligence, which is the ability to use spoken and written communication. And I'm going to go through all these intelligences just because I think it's important to understand what we're talking about. So, after linguistic, there's logical mathematical, which is the ability to understand and use logic and numeral symbols and operations. So, just like scientists and people in mathematics and stuff like that. And then musical, which is the ability to understand and use such concepts as rhythm, pitch, melody, and harmony. And then there's spatial, which is the ability to orient and manipulate three-dimensional space, like architects and stuff like that. Body kinesthetic, I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but it's the ability to coordinate physical movement, so like athletes, dancers, stuff like that. And then naturalistic, which is the ability to distinguish and categorize objects or phenomena in nature. And then there's interpersonal, which is the ability to understand and interact well with others. And intrapersonal, which is the ability to use one's thoughts, feelings, preferences, and interests. And then existential intelligence, which is the ability to contemplate phenomena or questions beyond sensory data, such as the infinite. And so those are the intelligences that I'm going to be talking about today. That's in the article. They were just talking about those different kinds of intelligences. So they also talked in the article about an internal orchestra, which I thought was really cool, talking about the different intelligences and how we all use different kind of intelligences, and sometimes they can throw us off, or they can complement us, or they can make us sound better. So the first one is interfere, and so someone can have good social skills but lack the ability to speak well, and so they might have a hard time making friends even though they have good social skills. And then someone that's a good reader might not be very skilled in the math department, so they might spend more time reading than doing math, so it's going to interfere with them learning to do math well, because they're just going to be focused on what they can do well, which is reading. And then compensation. So someone not being a good writer but uses really good body language, which is the the one I can't say very well. They can present an effective speech because they know how to use their body to get things across, even though they're not a very good writer. And in the article they talked about politicians and presidents being good at stuff like that. And then someone writing a good paper. They get good on a paper because they write with a lot of power, even though their argument isn't very solid. So even though they don't have a really good basis or whatever, they can end up doing well just because they write with such power. And then enhancement, someone with strong musical intelligence may be stimulated to create poetry or creative stories or something. So even though they might not be, that might not be their strongest point is, poetry or creative stories, it's the musical side of them that might, the musical intelligence in them that might stimulate that. And then also, enhancement is pairing students together that are strongest in different intelligences so that they can work effectively together and compensate for each other and, try to teach each other. So I think that's really cool. And then there was a story in there that was about providing experiences. This is about a lady named Donna Schneider. And she had this real world publishing company. She worked as a third grade teacher in New York. And what she did was, it was called Schneider's Inc. And because each spring the school put on performances and events, and so they would have to create banners and advertisements and programs and other publicity material for the clients. And so she would get her students, she would have them turn in resumes and interview for the best places to put students, and she would make them, she'd have some as editors, sales managers, typists, accountants, customer service representatives, and designers, and they would work like real world experiences and doing stuff like that. So that was really cool what I read about in the article. So pretty much this article is just about teaching others and with different intelligences, showing them what are good ways to work with people that have different ways of learning and different reasons for how they learn it. So yeah, that was just pretty much trying to help people that learn different ways. And that's it.